Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. First of all, like we always do, let me make sure that we are actually live on the page. Because, sometimes technology does not want to be our friend. And if you're coming in, come on in, join us, take a moment to share. Let me know that you're in here. For some reason, I can't find my page. So I think we are live. Let's see. I noticed Facebook has a lot of delays recently, I guess trying to make sure that they are watching what's being posted. But I do see us live. I can't hear myself. So let me go ahead and give you guys a moment to share while you're coming on in. So I'll give a little 30-second countdown, come in, talk to you guys a little bit because I'm super, super excited about what is going on today and a new series that's starting today. All right, 30-second countdown starting now. Okay, so I do see that we are in here. We are live. I have pressed share so that everyone can see it. And as you're coming in, if you have comments, sometimes, technology doesn't work and I don't get to see the comments, but if I see them, I will definitely address them. Say hey to us. Let us know that you're here. For the new people who don't know, thank you for joining. For the replay viewers, thank you for coming back in and catching the replay. I do appreciate you coming back because y'all coming in at the end to catch the replay is a big deal. Some people say, oh, I'm going to go back and watch stuff, and they don't ever go. So I do appreciate all of my replay viewers as well. So let me give you guys the scoop on what's going on and what's starting today. So for the people who don't know, I am Theresa. I am a business consultant, mindset management coach, and fire fear coach. And I have this phenomenal show called Behind the Highlight Reels. As you can see right there, wherever it's at, somewhere over there in the corner. There it is, right there. All right, so our show is literally about what happens behind those beautiful highlight reels that people see on social media. Because I truly feel like behind those highlight reels are where the transparency lies, the experiences are really felt, and the lessons are learned. And we think that it's very important to share what happens behind those highlight reels so that other people can really see the reality of what goes on in the midst of a journey. Okay, so I created this show for transparent and real conversations just to get the reality of what really happens behind success. And for the next couple of months, we will definitely be talking about some transparent moments as we are preparing for 2021. So we will be talking about preparing in different aspects as it comes to our vision, as it comes to our bodies, our physical selves, our mental selves, our financial selves, our what else is there? All the selves, okay? Spiritual selves. We will be preparing for 2021 and beyond, okay? So we could not jumpstart this new series of preparing without talking about prepping your vision, because the Bible say we got to have vision first. So let's go ahead and start with that. So today I decided to bring my good friend Tara Pickens. She is, listen, amazing. She is the whole definition of amazing when it comes to her whole character. Like from the moment I met her, y'all, I met her at an event, phenomenal retreat by Angela Hawks, and she was on our show, I think the last episode. So if you haven't seen it, go ahead and see it after this show now. But Angela had a retreat, a women's small business retreat, and she was one of the speakers there, and she really, really gave us a whole different mindset when it comes to our vision. She was just amazing. Her spirit is so open and honest and transparent. And if you know me, you know that's all that I am about. And so she helped us do vision boards. Y'all, I took a little bit longer to complete my vision board, but she was absolutely amazing. It wasn't a normal vision board. Let me tell y'all that. Okay, so a lot of people are doing vision boards and vision board parties and things like that. But it wasn't just, us sitting down and just throwing some hopeless ideas or hopes and dreams and wishes on the board. But she really helped us create a vision to put on the board that was with intention. Okay, it wasn't just random cars, money. It was literally in an intentional vision board. And I have my vision board to this day, even from the way that, where you put your stuff on the board, how you connect things on the board. Amazing. I could talk all day about this phenomenal woman, but I have her here with us today, and she's going to help us talk about setting a vision right. Setting a vision so that you can have the rest of your goals and your plans lined up correctly with your vision. So let me go ahead and bring her on. Give me one moment. Good morning, Tara. How are you?
Hi, beautiful. How are you? Hello, everybody.
Amazing. Thank you. I definitely appreciate you for joining me. We have been planning this for a minute, so you joined at just the right time to help us with the preparation of the new year. Regardless of what's going on,
That's right.
we are going to prepare anyways. So thank you for joining me. I'm super excited to have you.
I'm super excited to be here and honored and humbled.
Thank you, girl. So, Tara, I told everybody my experience with you, which has been amazing. Like, I could talk all day about my experiences with you. And the funny thing is, they're not like I don't get to talk to you every single day because once you grow, you got all these responsibilities, so you don't get to talk to people every day like when you was in high school. But every experience I've had with you has been impactful and meaningful and intentional, and I just absolutely adore everything that you are doing. But let you give us a little synopsis of who you are. Tell us a little bit about you and what you do.
Okay, well, I help people reach their full potential through creation of a vision boards. I help them. I help them to become more intentional about the things that they want in life. What do they want? Why do they want it? How badly do they want it? Vision Board Inc. try to create an atmosphere where you can actually just sit down and think about those things. Because sometimes we're so busy in life, like you talk about, we get caught up with going here and doing these things. We're never still. So we try to create an atmosphere for you to just get clarity in all areas of your life.
And I will definitely be a testament for that. You are amazing at making sure that the environment are open. I mean, some of the stories, just being at the vision board party that I went to, some of the stories that you hear there, you really create this open environment where everybody feels safe, emotionally safe, physically just safe to just bear it all and be what you want to be. And there's no judgment, like literally no judgment. It amazing is all I can say. That's amazing. But you talk so much about vision, period. Just to have a normal conversation with you is to bring up the vision. Tell us a little bit why you think that vision is so important to you.
For me, vision is important, and it should be for everybody because you got to know where you're headed. Vision helps you to grow. Vision fuels your passion. But most of all, vision gives you hope.
Yes.
Sometimes we get so overwhelmed in our current situations of where we are right now. But a vision board is saying, okay, this is my current situation, but this is where I'm headed. This is my future. And it motivates you. It makes you want to get out the bed in the morning. I may have $5 in my account right now, but if my vision at the end of the year to have 500, it tells me, hey, at the end of the year, I can have this $500 if I'm obedient, if I'm disciplined. I can do it. It gives me hope. It gives you hope.
And that is so what we need right now.
Exactly.
This perfect time that regardless of what is going on in our lives, period, whatever reality says, the trueness and the truth is that we can make it beyond that. So I think that's absolutely wonderful. And even my vision board, I should have brought it in here, y'all. I messed up, but I'm bringing it in here. Matter of fact, I'm gonna put a picture of it after this. But my vision board, I look at it every morning. I created the vision board with you, and I put it where every morning I wake up, I have to see it before I walk out my door. I have to see it when I wake up and I say my prayers and I look up and it's there. And I think it's very important. I learned that from multi-level marketing years ago, how you want to put your vision in front of you where you can see it and you can keep picturing it. So it's so important for people to have these, not just a vision board, but the vision in their mind, because I'm not always with my board.
And I think I tell everybody at my vision board workshops, the Bible says without vision, the people perish. And to give you a better understanding like that, say for instance, we was just talking about finances. If you don't have a vision for your finances, you can find yourself in bankruptcy. You can find yourself facing a foreclosure. You can find yourself living from payday to payday and without having enough to take care of your family or your financial needs or the things you need. If you don't have a vision for your health, you can find yourself with diabetes. You can find yourself with high blood pressure. Hey, if you don't have a plan to even go get that mammogram, we just left the month of October, which was breast cancer awareness. You can find yourself facing a situation that could have been probably prevented, or you could have got help sooner had you had a plan to get that mammogram.
So let me ask you now, what you said, a lot of people feel, and this is just my experience with some of my clients that I've had, because that's one of the things that when I go through my clientele, we talk about the vision for their business. I mean, because there's no reason for me to be your coach if you don't even have a vision for your business, right? How am I supposed to help you when you don't know where we're going, right?
Right.
And so one of the things that one of my clients said was, hey, does that mean I can't go with the flow? Having vision doesn't mean that you're not going with the flow and you have to be uptight and strict about every single thing, but having a vision is different from just YOLO type of feel. Can you talk to us a little bit about the difference between you just going out here spontaneous doing something with no vision and still having a vision and being able to go with the flow?
I think with that, I think we have a vision. We use plans every day. We just don't really know it. Just for instance, a real simple example is me just, when we were going to work every day, I'm teleworking right now, but when I was going to work, just having a plan of what I was going to wear to work the next day. Something as simple as that, just having an idea. And, if you high speed, like some people are, they iron the night before or put their clothes in the cleaners and have their clothes laid out for the week. It doesn't mean that you can't change your top or your pants that next morning. It just means you have a plan. And not only that, it helps to keep you focused on the other things, other tasks you got to do this morning because you already got that outfit laid out. Or it helps with your time management, right? Because if you don't have anything laid out, you could be late for work trying to find that perfect outfit. The top you wanted is dirty. Top already had a stain on it, So it just helps you better prepare for the future.
So I love that you explained it that way, because I wish I would have had the words as gentle as you had it. But I mean, you already have a vision. Like, that was so good. You got a vision. Sometimes you just realize it.
Yeah.
So talk to me a little bit about when you see yourself truly start to help people with their vision. And how
I'm distracted right now because I thought I turned that phone off, right? Y'all, we live. See what I'm saying? I had a plan to turn that phone off, and now I thought I did, and look. But you got to remain flexible. Say that again.
Right. That's why we are behind the highlight reels. This stuff that be happening, girl. Okay. Sometimes my dog, she'd be like, "Oh, it's time to play." There's jingle jangles in the background. But I was saying, so talk to us about when you were truly starting to see yourself help people with their vision. Because I feel like you just been doing this your whole life. Okay. So tell me about that.
I have in the military, I had soldiers and I helped them plan for their future. We had counseling sessions and I asked them what did they want, why did they want it, where did they see themselves in their military career 3 to 5 years from now, and I kind of helped them put a plan together in order to get them there. But as far as Vision Board Inc., I launched Vision Board Inc. in January 2017. But prior to that, a seed was planted in me when I went to a Vision Board party in 2015. A young lady by the name of Greta Campbell hosted. Well, she was the host of the Vision Board party. We had it at another young lady's house. And again, I was in a comfort zone and I thought I had everything together, but I had to realize that when the Holy Spirit spoke to me, I had not got my associate's degree. And that's one of my biggest accomplishments. So that was the first time I was introduced to a vision board, but I actually started helping others with Vision Board Inc. in January 2017. I started helping women who was going through a drug rehab program at the Huntsville Downtown Rescue Mission. Now, it was only Tara Pickens' plan just to help the women that was going through that 12-month recovery program. I had a bigger plan.
Yes.
And so that's when I started doing vision board parties.
So since vision board parties, you have literally launched this whole empire of not just the vision board parties and the speaking, but y'all, she wrote a book. Okay, so if you have not gotten this book, she has one for men and one for females, and it is amazing. It's called Her Vision Changed Everything. It is a goal-setting prayer journal. I absolutely love it. I didn't want to write it because it's so beautiful. So I actually write on a piece of paper. And I purposely did it because I don't plan on doing this prayer journal one time and then I'm done. This is one of those things that you want to keep around you and consistently go back to it every single time that you need to, realign and reset. And so that's one of the things that I'm like, I may just have to write in it and then just get a new one every year or something, because this here, it really is a big deal to have a place to put it and a place to have everything. Because the way I work, y'all, I know I'm not the only one. This behind the highlight reels. I'll write something down. I'll have it in the phone. I'll be like, "Oh, I'm about to do this," and then 3 months later, I'm like, "What did I say I was gonna do? I don't know where that paper went. I don't know where that prayer went." And so it's important for us to keep this in line. So I absolutely love that you created a prayer journal that actually allows us to be interactive.
Theresa, I will tell you that God and goals go together.
Yes.
And writing the vision, that's what Vision Board Inc. is all about. Habakkuk 2:2-3, God says, write the vision and make it plain. That's getting clarity over the things that you want. And a vision board and just having a vision will introduce you to a whole nother you. You would have asked me years ago, would I be an author? Absolutely not. But I told you, when you take time out of your day, David said he arose early in the morning. When you get before God and you ask him the purpose and the will he has for your life, the Holy Spirit will speak it to you.
Yeah.
The Holy Spirit will teach you. It will guide you. It will direct you. You just got to have a ear to listen and the desire to be obedient to do whatever he tells you to do. And that's why I wrote that book, to prompt people to not only just write down their goals, but to get before God and say, what did you create these hands and these feet to do? Because God said in Ephesians 2:10, for we are created for good works. He said he knows the plans that he has for us. So that book helps you to have a more intimate relationship with him and to actually see what his plans are for you. And that has been working for me. That's why I'm successful. God gets all the glory because he order my steps. We don't do nothing in Vision Board Inc. without his blessing.
And that's so good because it's important to be able to create the environment when you're in your, especially in your planning phase, um,
Mm-hmm.
of setting the vision straight, creating an environment to work within to get that vision. And I'm glad that you mentioned the God and goals go together, because there's really no way to be intentional about your vision without asking the master who created you for it, so I think it's vitally important to not only, and I know this show we're talking about preparing for 2021. It's not only important to think about the vision, but set the environment so that you can listen and hear. Because I know one thing for me, I used to pray and be like, oh, I don't hear God, he ain't speaking. Well, a lot of times I said amen and just got up off the floor. I haven't taken the time to really see if God was going to answer me right then and there. Sometimes he's like, well, I was about to answer you as soon as you asked, but you wasn't listening. You were too busy thinking about, okay, I prayed, check that off the list for the things to do today. So I'm so appreciative of you taking the time to create this so that I can actually sit down and create this environment to get my vision together.
Yeah. And you know what? It just amazes me, you know, this election is just huge right now.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody went out to vote, and whether it was based on your values or your beliefs. But I want everybody to know today, God has elected you for something, for a purpose. Vote for yourself. Vote yes. The change starts with you and what you was called to do, how you can make a difference in this world, what you can do to create change. That's part of the whole part of living.
Mm-hmm.
Everything God created has purpose, whether it's the trees, whether it's the star, the sun. Don't think that if you open your eyes this morning that you was not purpose for something within this day. It doesn't always come with a platform. It may
Right.
be as simple as picking up the phone and calling to encourage somebody. But I hope we vote for ourselves this year, to our dreams and our goals and the things that we hope to do. I hope we can have as much patience as we stood in those poll lines and cast our votes. If we can have that patience with ourselves, if we can put that much confidence in ourselves that we can create a change, not just the president, but
Right.
we can create a change in this world.
And I love that you even mentioned that, because one of the things that I realize is I have so much confidence when I realize where my confidence is in.
That's it.
I was thinking about being confident in myself, and my abilities. Okay, I'm good. I could do only this much. And so then it would get to a point where I'm like, I don't think I could really do that. And now I'm not that confident. Now I'm at this place where I literally trust God with everything. And so I'm like, I don't have to be confident in me, because I know somebody who making sure I'm good. Like, he got my back regardless.
Right.
And so it literally is amazing to even mention how you gotta choose you, because even in the fact of choosing you, that's choosing God. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
it.
Choosing his vision for you and his version of you that he sees every day when he looks at us versus what I see every day when I look in the mirror. I may
Yeah.
see someone who's not as successful as I would want to be, or who may be a little afraid to do this and that, but he sees me as perfect
He
because
does.
he created me that way.
Perfect.
And
Perfect for
so I
his
think
will.
that's important to bring up, because you can't start planning without even understanding who you are to even think about where you can go. And I like to tell people, there were so many eggs, so many sperm, but it was created with you. You know, so many things could have happened, but you were created for a reason, for a purpose such as this. So, I mean, the fact that you are here, like you woke up when somebody else didn't.
Yeah.
It's very much so, like when you
Yeah.
think about it like that, it makes you kind of, it humbles you.
I tell you what, too, if you don't know who you are, it is kryptonite to your vision,
Yes.
because you will focus. If you have a low self-esteem, that's what you're going to focus on.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to focus on you. You're not going to see the bigger picture. And I tell you that when I started Vision Board Inc., in some ways, I had a very low self-esteem on the way that I talk.
Mm.
No, but I had to realize I don't talk like Sarah Jakes, or I don't talk like a lot of the other mentors that I had. I definitely had to be who I am. And if saying finna and ain't sometimes is who I am, I had to realize that God has already chosen the people to have an ear to what I had to say.
Yes. Yes.
He could still use me. I felt like Moses, who, like God, I stutter, just all these different excuses. And it used to bring such a fear to me. I didn't do FaceTime lives. I didn't really like speaking in public, but I had to learn that no matter what fear you have, you just have to do it. Because
Mm-hmm.
in the Bible, it says, not only get knowledge, but get understanding. Fear comes from a lack of knowledge and understanding. But once you just do it and you start doing it over and over again and you get comfortable, your confidence grows.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
It
And
grows.
look,
You gotta get that
it
now.
you see yourself doing stuff that you never would imagine you doing. And even if, like, and we were talking about this right before we went on, I'm still nervous every single time I press go live.
Yes.
Everybody's always like, "Oh, you did so good." Girl, nervous. But I do it so much now that the nervousness is not like a negative nervousness, it's an adrenaline nervousness. And so once you know that I'm walking in what I'm supposed to be doing, I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, I'm gonna keep doing it regardless, I'm gonna get better at this.
That's it.
That's even with the beginning of my show. My first show, my premiere show, I couldn't even, I had to get the program together at the last minute. Thank God my guest was so helpful. Had to get my program together at the last minute. Now, girl, I'm beasting at this little program.
You
Okay.
definitely are. You definitely. Hey, I'm trying to see how to get vision boarding. I see behind the highlight reels up here, the spotlight names out front. Hey, I'm trying to be like you. I gotta step up my game some. I'm loving it.
And it's
You
crazy
gotta take the
because
risk.
so many times we have this mindset, right? I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I'm not doing this because somebody else doing something better, right? But lo and behold, it's people like, oh my gosh, how do I just get to that level?
Yes.
We always compare ourselves, and it's so crazy that we do it. And a lot of times when we're in the comparison, there's a right time and a right way to compare and use that to build you. But a lot of times we're not using it right. We're comparing ourselves and we're using that to bring ourselves down. That's not what we're supposed to be doing.
I tell you what, if you want to compare yourself to somebody, compare yourself to you.
Yes.
For example, for me with Vision Board Inc., say I set a goal in 2021, I want to do over 30 virtual vision board workshops. Okay. I need to compare that to what I did last year. How many did I do in 2020? Did I do 20? Do I want to go higher?
Mm-hmm.
Compare myself to myself, not to how many vision boards another organization did. Well, they did 100. We need to do 300. No, you need to compare yourself to you. If I want to compare myself, if it's just me, losing weight. Oh, better yet, how much time am I spending with God? Okay. I can't worry about how much time my pastor and my other friends are spending time with him. I need to focus on me. If I did 15 minutes this week, maybe I need to try to increase it to 30 minutes next week. especially if I'm doing a drive-by. Hey, God, thank you for waking me up. Holla tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? You got to compare yourself to you. You got to focus on you. Stay in your lane. It's just like driving. You start crossing over to the other lane, you can crash into something.
Mm-hmm. Stay in your lane.
Take the risk, people. Take the risk.
So listen, this is not your typical how to one step 1, 2, 3. Okay, so if y'all not paying attention, she out here dropping gems. I got to write my little notes over here. She's saying this is how you start your goal setting. Compare yourself to you to set these goals. Okay.
Yeah.
So give me, I guess maybe a few ways that people can start working on preparing their vision. And you already told us to prepare ourselves to us. Okay. So tell us a little bit more on, okay, I'm sitting down, I'm in the right environment, I'm talking to Jesus, Jesus in the main line, tell me what you want. And I'm trying to figure out what steps can I take to start preparing my vision right now.
First of all, I think we've covered some of it.
Mm-hmm.
You need to figure out where you're at now. Who am I? Where am I at right now? Where am I at right now in my relationships? Where am I at right now with me spending time with God? Where am I at with my finances? If I want to get better in my finances, how much money I got in the bank now? How many bills I have? Get clarity on all areas of your life, whether it's your health, your finances, your education, your career, whatever it is. And then ask yourself, why do you want these things? Why do you want it? What's your motive? And I'm gonna tell you, a vision is just a simple way to submit our plans unto God, because it says, submit your plans unto me, because so they shall succeed. But at the end of the day, it's God's will, and He examines the motives of the heart. That's why some of us haven't won the lottery, because we already know we're not gonna do right.
Yes. Girl,
you haven't given us that car because we just know we want that car so we can pull up on everybody who ain't giving us the ride, probably throw them a bird or something. God said,
girl,
work on that for a minute. And then you need to, after you write it down, you figure out why you want to do these things. You need to develop an action plan.
Yes.
How are you going to do it? What's your plan? If your goal is to save $100 a week, how do you plan to do that? This pandemic has taught us a lot, right? Yeah. I know now I don't always have to eat in the cafeteria every day at work, right? I know now I don't have to get my hair done every 2 weeks. Because when you make that action plan, you have to be so intentional. I want to know this vision or this dream you have, it's going to cost you something.
Yes.
Whether it's going to cost you time, it may cost you criticism from others who don't understand your vision. And guess what? It's okay. Some people are not, everybody don't have to understand your vision because they can't see what you see. Most of the time they won't see it until it manifests. And then they was like, oh, now I get it.
Right.
Now I understand what you was trying to say. That's pretty cool. And then once you develop that action plan, put the work in. Faith without works is dead. Bet on yourself. Take the risk. Step out those limitations that you've drawn for yourself, that you've put on yourself. Take the brakes off of your dreams. Just go. Just do it. Just try. That's what I've had to do. And a lot of people, I feel like they don't take the risk because they're scared that the biggest fear is their reputation, right? One of my biggest accomplishments was going back to get my degree. I was so worried about what people was going to think if I failed. You got to take the risk. You got to put your reputation out there and you got to speak it. I can do this. I can overcome this. Ecclesiastes says it's a time for everything.
Yes.
During this pandemic, a lot of people have lost people. And it's going to be a mourning stage. But joy cometh in the morning.
Yes, yes.
Get you some I'm headed to get you some accountability partners.
Mm-hmm.
You need accountability partners as well. Somebody that's going to hold you accountable to say, hey, you can do this. Get up. You said, and a lot of people, so they don't like to write that vision and make it plain. You know why?
Because it holds them accountable.
It's a contract to yourself. You'll sign your name on the loan, right? You say, hey, I'm going to pay you back such and such a time. It's like having a contract with yourself saying, hey, this is what I'm signing up. This is what I said I was going to do. And some people don't like people to hold them accountable. I know I said I was going to do it, but.
And that's the issue. Accountability partners are not yes men. Accountability partners are not just going, yes, girl, yes, girl. No, accountability partners are, you said you was going to do this. What happened?
Yes.
Why?
Even
Why
with that book, the rest of my accountability partner, Victory Ackerberger, she called me up and she was like, hey, we teleworking, you able to go in, get off on time. Where you at with that book? You said you was going to get out there. I came with a button. She said, okay, I expect for you to have it done such and such a time, Miss Pickens. Guess what I said? Yes, ma'am.
Sometimes God will send you accountability part. For example, I've every weekday morning this month, one of my coaches, Amber Aziz, is having a 5 a.m. morning miracle morning challenge. But that's 4 a.m. for us because it's Eastern Standard Time. Girl, yesterday I'm talking to Dion and Dion Edwards. Okay, of Sweet Relief, and she was like, "Now I've been getting up and I ain't been seeing you on the Zoom. I have been not. What's going on?" And I was like, "You're right, girl. You're right." So I had to get on up this morning and hold myself accountable because she looking, and I didn't even know she was looking. So have people that's gonna hold you accountable to what you said you was gonna be doing because you're supposed to be doing it. And I know one thing that you even said about people not seeing your vision until the end. One thing that we have to also learn as people is to give grace, not just to ourselves, but to other people. You ain't got to be getting mad at somebody because they don't see your vision. They just not meant to go with you in that portion of your life. You ain't upset.
And sometimes it could be people really close to you that you truly believe that were supposed to be there and you want them there. And it is really hard to let go. But that's why I say you just got to stay before God. And I tell you, the last thing I would tell people to do, hold tight to God's promise.
Yeah.
And as part of that book, it asks you for your fight words, the promises God has given you, the words that you stand on. Like right now during this pandemic, COVID-19, everybody praying Psalm 91, Psalm 23 over their lives. You got to hold tight to God's promises. And I think it was in Hebrews 12:12, something like that, where it says Jesus, he never lost sight of where he was headed.
Yeah.
Even through the shame, he saw the vision of the cross. He never lost sight of where he was headed. So be aware of your distractions.
Yeah.
Hold tight to the promises of God. And if he said it, no, through a pandemic or whatever, he's already factored that in when he gave you the promise. He just wants you to have faith and to believe that it's going to come to pass, to trust the process. I was coming with that, right? Trust the process.
I'm glad that you even said be aware of your distractions. That is something that I always talk to people about, especially in one of my courses. I talk to people about it. Be aware of your distractions. Sometimes you are your greatest distraction. I tell my story all the time. I'll be like, okay, I'm just gonna watch this episode of this series. 3 episodes later, I might as well just go ahead and finish watching it because I done wasted like 3 hours. I'm gonna do that tomorrow, and then tomorrow come, I still got a few more episodes to watch. Next thing I know, next week comes, I ain't did nothing. Sometimes we have to really take a hard look at ourselves. It ain't nobody else, it's us. You be quick to say, well, I ain't got time. I had time to watch them 3 episodes.
You're right. And you know what? That's why I'm off social media right now. You know, I came on for you today because we set this up months ago.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to be aware of your distractions. And with me, I'm an encourager. I love pouring into other people.
Yes.
So I'm always on Facebook, and I got my own private group for my visionaries. I'm always pouring, but sometimes even social media for me can be a distraction.
Yes.
And so I've been off now over almost a month, maybe a little over a month, because I had to come off to hear what God was saying to me in this season, because I got a lot going on. And sometimes, like, even in the book of Habakkuk, you know, he was talking about a lot of stuff that's going on now, the injustice and everything that was going on in the land at that time. But notice what Habakkuk did after he had after he had said his prayer and his petition to God.
Mm-hmm.
He went up like on this tower, away from the distractions, away from everybody. He went up and like left everybody down. He went up on the tower. And what I love about that, it was an expectation to hear from him.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So sometimes in the midst of all our distractions, we just need to get away from everything and everybody and to be still. But being aware of those distractions are good. And for me, I had to be like Habakkuk. I had to get away, go up.
Yes.
And I've been hearing. I have been hearing. And I tell you, when you do this vision board and you pray over your goals, there should be an expectation to hear what God has to say to you. He will hear you and he will answer your prayers. He really will.
And I'm glad that you even mentioned you should have an expectation, because a lot of times, sometimes I will say this, I'm just talking about me, okay? If y'all feeling it, you understand. Sometimes when we pray, we expect God to move in a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
And then we want to quote all the scriptures. Lord, you said if I just ask in your name and blah, blah, blah. Well, the rest of it says in my will, and what you asking for ain't in my will, you know? So sometimes we have to be mindful of what we're looking for as an answer to the prayer, because ultimately our answer to the prayer should be us trusting God with whatever that answer is. And I had to even check myself on that a little while ago, to the point where I had to put a prayer on my mirror to say, God, help me to be more understanding and more mindful of the fact that I trust you. You know, I am okay with whatever you give me, with the understanding that I trust you and you have my best interest at heart. Everybody always be like, oh, we got your best. No, he has your best interest at heart, because he knows what you need. So I truly trust you. And I had to write that prayer on my mirror so that I can see it, because sometimes I'm not feeling what I think is God's will. Sometimes I'm like, Lord, where is my husband? I mean, I'm not feeling his will for me to wait a little bit. And I had to be like, God, let me wait on what you have for me, because you know what's best. Let's stop trying to make everybody my husband, okay?
That just go to what we do as parents, or not even parents, aunts and friends. You know, we're not going to give anything to anybody intentionally that's going to hurt them.
Right.
We always want what's best for our child, you know. And a lot of things now, as I've gotten older and wiser, I see why my mom and my dad and my parents said no to a lot of things. And now that I sit back and think about it, I'm so glad that they did not give me these things when I asked for it, you know?
Because
you're not going to give a 13-year-old a Mustang right away. You know what I mean? God, he knows the plans. And we have to trust that. It's just like in the Lord's Prayer. We got to get back to, Lord, may your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. You know? And don't forget to ask for that daily bread either. God gives us daily benefits.
Yes.
And that's the thing. That's why we have to get in that manual, and we have to. God's word is live, and
Yeah.
sometimes when you read His word, it speaks to our heart and to the season or the situation we're in right now. You
Right.
know, so that's the importance of just wherever you find yourself with your goals, and like you said, sometimes it's hard to accept God's will. But
Mhm.
trust me, the Bible says everything works good for those who love Him. Everything works in your favor.
Right. And
Never seen the righteous forsaken. It's working. It's working for your good. You got to know that. I don't care what's going on. It's
yeah.
working for your good. It's working.
And even if you have to keep reminding yourself that
Yeah.
it's working, even when you don't think it is or it don't
Yeah.
feel like it, you got to remind yourself.
And I mean, I don't care what situation you find yourself in, the lowest of the low. I know it's a lot of single parents out there. I think about my daughter right now who's just torn on what to do. She has a young baby she just had that's 4 months old, with
Mhm.
the pandemic and stuff going on, putting her in daycare, going back to work. School may let out and go back virtual, with my grandson,
Yeah.
and yet they said she don't qualify for unemployment. It's just it's tough right now.
Right.
I tell everybody, no matter what your situation is, know that everything is working for your good.
Hmm.
Just stay focused on the vision. Stay focused on God's promises. That's what's going to keep your head
Yeah.
above water. Just having hope. And the Bible said we should be chained to hope like a prisoner of war.
Yeah.
We should be chained to it. Don't let it go. Just stay hopeful.
I'm so glad you said that. And one of the things that I did want to mention, because you were giving your steps, and I know sometimes people, when we get steps on how to do something, we could get very overwhelmed because they may seem so big. It's important to just start small.
That's
When
it.
you said, what spending time with God, spending time, away. If you can't do a whole month, start a day.
That's
Make
it.
a day where every Wednesday I don't go on social media. I fast from social media. I spend more time and being intentional with God. Things like that. And that those small steps have helped me. And that was one thing I had to learn. Like even with, we talked about weight loss earlier, as if that's your vision. My nutritionist was like, start small here, small step there, small step there. And then
Yeah.
next thing I know, I had lost 50 pounds before COVID. So it's being
Yeah.
about those small steps.
It's almost like, I'm good for it. It's almost like a layaway plan. Put,
Yes.
put your dream on layaway, okay? Pay a little bit on it each month, every day,
I
based on what you would do. Yeah. You just have to take those small, small steps so it won't become overwhelming for you. You know, don't go out there. I ran a half marathon a couple of years ago, ING in Atlanta with some friends. But I just couldn't get out there and run 5 miles in one day, and I hadn't ran in years.
right.
I had to get out there. I started walking at first, and I was doing Zumba. So I had to start out with maybe walking 30 minutes a day. And then
Mhm.
when I got comfortable with that, I started jogging a little bit. Then I started running from one pole to one pole until I had picked up that momentum. And I did that half marathon. I did it in 2 hours and 30 minutes. Sure
Okay.
did. I did that.
Congratulations.
But like you say, it's the small steps that make the bigger change. Small steps.
Look, I like that little weight thing. I'm gonna have to use that, honey.
Yeah, put your dream on layaway. Just do a little bit every day.
So
And
I'm
eventually it will pay off. You'll be able to walk away with it, right? Walk
mm-hmm.
away with that with items you put on layaway. Your dream will manifest. And
Yeah.
Habakkuk 2, 2, and 3, it tells you, though it lingers, wait for it.
Yes.
It will surely come. Trust the process.
Girl, I absolutely love that. Let me write my little way so I can remember to put that on my Layaway dream. So I can remember to put that on my screen. Cause a lot
That's right.
of
You
times
got to pay on it, though. You got to put in the work. You got to pay on it.
I put my sayings on my screen so that when I pick up my phone, I'm seeing that and not some crazy stuff. And so I'm like, I'm about to put that on my screen because I absolutely love that. And so, oh, speaking of sayings, y'all, let me let y'all see my shirt that I got from Tara Pickens Vision Board Inc. out here in these streets, trusting God. We really, really, really are. And I'm so excited about my shirt. But it literally is, when I seen this on the shirt, I said, look, I gotta get it. I gotta get it because that's literally what I'm out here doing. Like, I'm building a whole, like, even right now, I'm building a whole business in the pet industry. I don't have no
Yeah.
experience in the pet industry, but I'm literally just, God, you told me to keep it moving. It sounds crazy. We got a whole pandemic going on, but he said move it. So I'm just going, okay, I'm gonna keep doing it. I'm literally out here just trusting God.
You know what that also sounds like? That we truly need to talk about?
What?
Consistency.
Yeah.
That's big when you have a vision, you taking those small steps, but be consistent. Be
Yeah.
consistent in being intentional on being faithful and trusting God. Be intentional on paying on that layaway and investing in yourself and your dream and taking those small steps. You have to be consistent. You can't be procrastinating. You can't be a procrastinator. You have to take those small steps. You have to be disciplined and you have to stay consistent. It's just like when you're working out, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can't do 5 push-ups and expect to see, some definition in your arms, or you have to stay consistent in
Right.
doing push-ups if you want to see some definition, if you want to see them abs. Over 50, I don't know. I'm over 50 now. I don't know about seeing them definition in them abs, but I can make it small.
Listen.
Small if I want to, but I put them
Real.
on the table and stay away from a couple of sweets and stuff.
Right. But then that's when it comes back to that one small step. Because when we making these big trying to, like, for example, we're gonna go back. I'm like, oh, I'm about to switch my whole lifestyle. I'm about to stop eating sugar. Now that step
No.
is too big for me to even be realistically consistent with, you know. So I'm glad that you even mentioned that, because make the step small enough that you can be consistent and add a little bit. Like you said on your marathon, you started with a walk.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, you was at a jog. Then you
Yeah.
were at a run. But
Yeah.
if you started with that run, you would have just wore yourself out and been like, girl, never mind.
I'm calling the ambulance for sure. Man down over here in Spencer Lakes, man down.
Yes, I definitely understand that whole feeling, because Lord, I'm literally now I'm with that, trying to get back to my pre-COVID weight loss from that. Now let me go back and be consistent and disciplined about it. That goes hand in hand. Consistency, discipline, all that, vision. Like the whole great thing about it all is they go together. There's no way to be consistent without remembering the vision. There's no way to be consistent without that discipline.
Yeah.
Everything goes together. And at the end of the day, if we're doing what we're supposed to do,
It's
it
gonna
works out.
out. And give yourself room to fail. You're
Yeah.
going to fail. That's part of the journey. I failed so many times at Vision Board Inc., but you have to get back up and take what you failed at and apply it on how you're going to move forward. Fail forward is what John Maxwell say. Fail forward. Take those lessons and learn from it, but don't stay down. Get up. Get up. It's okay to fail. It's part of the process. I can't tell you, Larissa, sometimes, I thought I heard from the Holy Spirit that this shirt was going to be bomb. It was going to sell out. I'm going to get like 6 digits. And I still got some over here in the corner.
Girl.
It's okay. It's okay. I can't tell you how so many times I thought this event was just going to sell out and only 2 or 3 people show up. But
Girl,
maybe
I had that same
that's all who God wanted to be there. And that goes back to comparing ourselves. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, failure is part of the process. So if you were scared you was gonna fail, you can take that one off the sheet.
right.
You can take that off the sheet and keep moving
Okay.
forward. That's one you can go ahead. If that was part of one of your excuses, you can go ahead and scratch that off the list. And that's probably what people need to do. They probably need to write down what's keeping you from moving forward and look that thing, because most of the time fear is really not real. It's just things that we create in our mind that is going to happen. So maybe you need to just take out a sheet and say, hey, I want to go back to school, but let me write down the reasons why I'm not. And
Right.
then deal with it. Get to the root of it. Why are you not doing it? It could be your past. You may need to heal in some areas. You know, maybe your mom told you you would never amount to anything, that you was dumb, that you was stupid, that you couldn't do it. You know, and you didn't go back to get that GED or whatever the case may be. Maybe you need to get to the root of it and heal from it so you can move forward.
I'm glad that you even said that. I know a lot of people, you know, I'm a fire fear coach. I have my course, Fire Fear. And one of the things that I always teach them, I know everybody, and like you said, fear is not real. Everybody always says that. And for me, what I had to learn was fear was real for me.
Yeah,
You know, that was my reality, because when you have that emotional connection to it, that is real. And everybody will always tell me, girl, fear is, you know, the unreal, and what's the acronym, something appearing real, or something, false
yeah,
accusation appearing real.
yeah,
Well, it's real because I'm feeling it. That emotional connection is real. And one of the things that I have people do in my class is kind of like what you said, figure out what is the root of that fear.
yeah,
It's real to you, and you have that emotional connection because it's something that has happened.
yeah,
So dive down to the root. And what most people find out is there's either a fear of failure or a fear of success.
yeah,
And I have them work through that. And I will tell you, the graduates of my class have really worked through it, and I've seen them just come out of their shell and do things that they've never done before. But it all took that self analysis of what was really going on and
yeah,
dealing with it, because they could have easily been like, I don't even want to dig that deep into it because, you know, I don't feel like it is too heavy. But you have to give yourself grace, and that was one of the things that I teach them too. So I'm glad that you are saying all that, because those are important and very vital to the process of setting the vision and actually going after it. Because like you said, you're gonna fail. That don't mean you're
you're
gonna fail
part of
the
it.
whole thing, but at some point you're gonna fail,
Yeah.
and you
And
have
you're gonna have that fear. You're gonna
to.
have that fear. Anytime you do something that you don't know, fear is going to creep in. It's part of nature.
Anytime you're setting the stage to do something different,
Yes.
you're gonna get an attack at some point. So
Yes.
now I get to the point where it's like, shift your mind about it. You know,
Yes.
how do I look at it? I was in a group this morning, and one of the ladies was saying, "Oh, I have to go back and work and do something else,
Yeah.
and you know, I hate it. It's gonna be bad." And I was like, "Well, think about it with a different mindset shift. Okay, you
Yeah.
don't have to do it, but you get to have a different experience. So, what is the experience that I'm learning in this failure or in this setback right now? Because, like we say, if you don't make it right the first time, God will put you back through that test. Lord, I don't want to go back through no more tests. Not the same test.
And not only that, what are you showing people around you? What type of legacy are you living? Are you leaving behind? Because people are watching you. Because we're all leaders, we're all ministers. People are watching us and how we handle different situations, and that's that light that people are drawn to. How you handle situations. If you have that peace that surpasses all understanding, I just don't want to be that person. Who at my funeral they said, well, you know, she talked about how she wanted to do this, but oh, po her, she never got a chance to do it. And she talked about how she wanted this car, but Lord, maybe she'll get it in heaven. I want mine here on earth. You know, I just think about what people would say about me at my funeral, and I pray that I'm leaving behind a good legacy, a legacy of faith, a legacy that you can do anything through Christ that strengthens you. You
Yeah.
know, and when you leave behind things, it don't always have to be something materialistic. And that's what I pray my vision board is doing for my family, leaving behind a legacy of faith, because if God did it for me, he can do it for them too.
Yeah, that's so good, so good. Because sometimes it ain't for you. Sometimes you're going through something ain't got nothing to do with you. It's for
That's it.
somebody that was watching. So as we go ahead and wrap up, because we'll talk all day and we
That's
don't make
it.
it through a whole hour. But as we wrap up, Tara, is there one important tip that you would give people? Because you done gave a whole bunch of tips, but what's the biggest takeaway from today to help these people jumpstart their whole lives with their vision?
I think the one thing I would tell people to take away is write the vision and make it plain. Get clarity on everything you want in life. Be intentional. Have an expectation, and to get before God and let him lead the way, and just trust the process.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm trying to set up the people so we can get your information. Um, I'm putting your information on the screen now. There we go. So that people can contact you. Y'all, make sure you join her group. Is the group open before I be telling people to join the group? Is the group open?
It's vision driven, but absolutely, if you're interested in being empowered every day and you want to know more about vision boards and what it is to walk in your purpose, definitely join the group. And also my email address, you can reach out to me personally and I will help you on this journey.
What's the group at? What?
It's vision driven.
Okay, because I wrote the wrong thing. Vision driven on Facebook.
Yes.
I'm in the group. I should have just looked. All right, I'm trying to write the group and everything. Ain't it? It's a dash in it, right?
It is.
Okay, y'all, my bad. Let me put the dash. Vision driven. And if you here's her group information as well. If you need to get in touch with her and you just did not get the information on the replay or something, hit me up. I will connect y'all to Tara Pickens, not Tara. I had to learn that first time. Not Tara, but Tara Pickens. Just like not Teresa, but Theresa. Okay. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you so much. This was amazing. We will talk all day, but we have to let these people go because they are joining us on their lunch breaks. Again, thank you guys for the replay. Contact Tara, join her group so you can get this daily motivation when she gets off her social media fast. Okay. Yeah. And we will see you guys later, guys. Join me on the 20th for our next guest. I will tell you guys about that later. It's going to be phenomenal. Make sure y'all are taking these notes, getting these visions together, because on the 20th, you need to have already went through the little steps that Tara was saying earlier so that you can get prepared for the next step in this process, the prep for 2021. Thank you, Tara, so much for
thank you.
We'll see you guys later. Bye.